Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. Miss Alina here from UiTM Melaka. Okay, in this video, I will share with you discussion on MFRS 1616 leases. Okay, this is MFRS 16 leases in this is standard issued by MASB. I bought from MASB office. Okay, let's take a look at standard that you can download from MASB website. Okay, this is the standard that you can get from MASB website. Okay, you can download this PDF file. Okay, so this is the standard MFRS 16. Okay, I would like to advise you that you read as well from other sources, but make sure it is a genuine sources. Okay, this is the one that I would like to share with you. This is a um, discussion on IFRS 16 written by PwC. So you can read as well from this material written by PwC. And then this is from Malaysian Institute of Accountant from the magazine. But you can read the magazine from this MIA, the Accountants Today. This is the name of the magazine, Accountants Today. You can read as well on MFRS 16. Okay, so this is written by a well-known expert, okay, on MFRS 16. Okay, so this is the standard. Okay, so MFRS 16 leases. Okay, in April 2016, the Malaysian Accounting Standard Board (MASB) issued MFRS 16. The standard is applicable for annual periods beginning on or after 1st January 2019. MFRS 16 is equivalent to IFRS 16 leases as issued by the IASB. Okay, so let's take a look at this introduction. Okay, IN4. Okay, so reasons for issuing IFRS 16. Okay, leasing is an important activity for many entities. Okay, it is a means of gaining access to assets, of obtaining finance, and reducing an entity's exposure to the risk of asset ownership. Okay, so the prevalence of leasing means that it is important that users of financial statements have a complete and understandable picture of an entity's leasing activity. So what happened previously? Actually, leases standard being discussed in previous paper, which is in FAR 510. Okay. However, in that paper, MFRS 117. Okay. So the previous accounting model for leases required lessees and lessors to classify their leases as either finance lease or operating leases and account for those two types of leases differently. Okay, I'm not sure whether do you still can remember when we discussed MFRS 117, in order for the company to identify the lease agreement as finance lease, there are few criteria. Some of the criteria is actually like when there is a bargain purchase option, okay, and so on. That is in MFRS 117. Okay, that model was criticized for failing to meet the needs of users of financial statements because it did not always provide a faithful representation of leasing transactions. In particular, it did not require lessees to recognize assets and liabilities arising from operating lease. Okay, this is quite interesting. Okay, I would like to highlight this as well. So accordingly, the IASB and the US National Standard Setter FASB initiated a joint project. So this IFRS 16, or adopted in Malaysia as MFRS 16, is a joint project, okay, by FASB as well as IASB to develop a new approach to lease accounting. Okay, that requires a lessee to recognize assets and liabilities for the rights and obligations created by leases. So both IASB and FASB decided that a lessee should be required to recognize assets and liabilities for all leases with limited exceptions. Okay, and both IASB and FASB have defined leases in the same way. Okay, however, in this IN8, IASB and FASB reach different decision in certain area. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, let's look at the table of content of this standard. Okay, okay, this is table of content. As I mentioned, um, always refer to this table of content because um, you can see here we have capital letter and then small letter. Okay, so let's take a look at objective of the standard. Okay, so objective of the standard as in paragraph 1. Okay, the standard sets out the principles for the recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure of leases. Okay, it is to ensure that lessees and lessors provide relevant information in a manner that faithfully represents those transactions. This information gives a basis for users of financial statements to assess the effect that leases have on the financial position, financial performance, and cash flows of an entity. So I would like to highlight that always read the definition. Okay, definition of terms is provided in Appendix A. Okay, so let's take a look at Appendix A. What is important here, definitely, when you read this definition of terms, you find this term first, lease. Okay, what is lease? Is a contract or part of a contract that conveys the right to use an asset or the underlying asset for a period of time in exchange for consideration. So in this lease contract, okay, there are parties that we call as lessee. Okay, lessee. Lessee is actually an entity that obtains the right to use an underlying assets for a period of time in exchange for consideration. And another party is lessor. So lessor is an entity that provides the right to use an underlying assets for a period of time in exchange for consideration. Then we have as well lease term. Okay, this is lease term definition and other definition. Okay, I also advise the students to um, read application guidance as in this appendix B. So this application guidance has this diagram. Okay, diagram B31 appendix B. Okay, B. Can you see here? Number is B. Okay, in this appendix B31, this is the flow chart. Okay, that may assist the company in making the assessment of whether a contract is or contains a lease. Okay, look at this last part of this diagram. So you can have either a situation where the contract contains a lease, or on the other hand, if the contract does not contain a lease. So it is very helpful to go through this diagram for you to understand contract in this lease standard. Okay, I will share later in the next video. Thank you very much.